Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector. I wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about the video that was released yesterday by Chasing Cardboard, in which I am prominently featured, where I go to a local collection here, a guy named Ricky, and he had a collection of cards that we were attempting to acquire. And let's just say in the comments that my negotiating skills are being criticized heavily. And that's okay. There's so many things that go into this that it's funny when people just throw out their comments. Of course, keyboard warriors are going to do what they do. Haters are going to hate. But I do find it interesting. So there's multiple facets here. Number one, the mantra I have taken in my cardboard career is I'm going to try to pay as little as possible for every card. It stretches my hobby dollars. It allows me to acquire more stuff. So at the end of the day, I want to pay as little as possible. And so there was a collection there that Ricky had that probably was worth like retail $4,000 to $5,000 as it sat. Okay. And my initial offer was $2,000 on that collection. And my dad has always taught me, he'll probably watch this video actually. So Dad, you'll be glad to know this stuck, but he always said, make him tell you you're crazy twice. And what happened was he didn't tell me anything. I just walked away. And so again, there's so many things at play here, but my idea was that was a jumping off point. We would end up some number higher than $2,000. I was actually willing to go to $3,000, but I wasn't just going to throw that number. I wasn't just going to cost myself $1,000 just for giggles. I had almost all the cards on the table. The ones I really wanted were the autograph cards. So I wasn't wanting to overpay for the other stuff that I didn't want and would have to go through the process of grading and selling and all that just to keep a few of those cards that were autographed. So it's like, okay, what do you do in a scenario like that? Well, we didn't reach a deal. Ultimately, we did. Ben decided he wanted to go on an episode. He ended up acquiring the collection, and great, a deal was made and everybody's happy. But I think people are criticizing, saying, man, you lowballed the guy. You made this horrendously low offer. So there's two kinds of scenarios that I think you can act differently. Number one, if you're dealing with a non-card person, a widow inherits a collection from her deceased husband, she has no idea, you're going to be I am anyway. I'm going to be a lot more fair in terms of pricing than I would with, let's say, a dealer, someone who's in the business. Okay. And those are two completely different scenarios. You got a person that doesn't know, and therefore it's wrong to take advantage of them there's $10,000 worth of cards, I'm going to pay her $1,000 or whatever in this scenario. That is totally wrong, and I totally agree with that. If you have a dealer who's in the card business at a show, at a shop, somewhere, I don't see any problem with making an offer that they just absolutely scoff and laugh at. To me, that's step one of a negotiation. And you can disagree with that, and that's fine. I'm just not going to be that way. You can ask my friends, my close friends, when they offer me cards, JT or Garrett, ask them. I want a great deal. At the end of the day, I want a great deal. And I'm going to ask for a great deal. I might get told no and have to adjust accordingly, and that's fine, and pay closer to comps or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm going to try to buy cards as cheap as I can. And so, again, that's the mantra, right? But so you got a person who doesn't know about cards that you're going to be significantly more fair with and honest with and all that versus a dealer. Ricky's kind of in the middle, okay? He had taken what you guys don't see in the Chasing Cardboard episode is, we're there for multiple hours. You see 15 minutes of it or whatever, of the interaction. He had taken these cards to multiple card shops. He knew what they were worth. Okay, he had been told multiple times the value of the collection. And my guess on the value of the collection was pretty much in line with what these card shops had told him. And so, again, what other people don't realize. So I knew that he knew, and he was unwilling to give me an offer. I typically like the other person to say an offer. If you're going to give me the chance to make an offer first, I'm going to try to get him cheap. And he could have said, no, I want this number. He didn't give me any number. He wanted to talk to his son. So, okay, I'll walk away. I don't need all these cards. Like, it wasn't like something where I was really dying. I wanted the autographs, no doubt. Like, that's 100% true. But, and I really liked him. And he had great stuff. So it's not even he had really good stuff. All of it would sell pretty easily. But I don't dig the selling part of this hobby. It's not a lot of fun for me. I'm doing it on a case-by-case basis, let's say. And it's only on stuff that I already have. So there's just so much more there. He knew what he had. He had prices on a lot of the cards. So it's not like he didn't know. And so we were I was adding them all up in my head, and I thought, $4 to $5 grand, I'll start at $2 and I'll work my way up. The starting at $2 is just where it ended. And if Ricky was insulted, I'm not intentionally trying to insult anyone, but at the same time, I don't, they're just cards. I don't have to buy them. He doesn't have to sell them. So I certainly don't want to hurt his feelings or burn any bridges or piss anybody off. That is not my goal, but I'm just going to do what I do. And so Ricky knew what he was doing. And then, we go through the process. He ends up talking to his son, and which his son basically told him, do whatever you want to do. And he came back finally with a number on the phone. Before we even got there, I knew what his number was. So you guys don't see that. You see us getting there and he tells us a number and all that. I knew the number weeks and weeks before we went back there. So, and I was just unwilling to pay it. I'm not going to pay $4 grand for a collection I think is worth $4 grand to $5 grand and that's really what I thought it was worth, including, then you have to factor in grading costs, authenticate. I was going to get all the autographs sent off to PSA DNA, time, etc. There just wasn't enough there for me to feel comfortable making a deal. Ben here, I tell Ben about it. Ben hears about the collection. It's like, I'll buy it. Okay, great. So Ben comes up here. We go look at the collection. He makes a deal. So it's just one of those things where you can negotiate for your cards however you want. And some people are more comfortable paying closer to comps. Some people are willing to negotiate. The truth is, do I get screaming deals on every card? Absolutely not. Am I willing to pay up for certain cards? You bet. But at the end of the day, this is a piece of cardboard with somebody's picture on it and a name printed on it. It has zero intrinsic value. A card is only worth what someone else is willing to pay for it. That's it. And sometimes some people are willing to pay more and some people are not. And I'm one of those that at the end of the day, also, I feel like there's plenty of these out there. I don't need to overpay often to get something that I want. And so I'm very patient. And if I can get a great deal, awesome. If I can't, move on down the road. And that's long been my the way I view this hobby and the way I view building my collection. You're going to have your own way of doing it. There's nothing wrong with anything. It's funny to see how many critics of my initial offer there are in the comments. Go read them. It's pretty funny. And it's fine. They can have that opinion. I actually don't care. I really don't care. At the end of the day, I'm going to get good cards at good prices. So lots of dynamics there, lots of stuff. I just thought I'd come on here and explain it a little bit better, give you some more insight behind the episode and what actually was happening in between what you saw on the episode. So that's it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Good episode. Ricky's a great guy, great character. Ben makes an appearance. It's fun. So let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what your negotiating skills are or strategies. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Keep collecting.